morning, everyone. What Kendrick doesn't know is that I decided I'm going to take you along with us all day long today. Every morning, my morning starts waking up in our 400 little bear and kicking this guy out of bed to go make me coffee. Hey, go make me coffee.
Hello.
Well, now that I have my coffee, I can finally start my day, which I am going to start today by being a little bit productive, checking some email, responding to comments on social media. I love sitting at our little dinette here in the 400 and getting work done while I drink coffee in the morning. Now, one of the crazy things about trying to take you guys on a typical day with Mandy is that my days are anything but typical. Like, literally no 2 days are the same, especially right now during COVID, where we have way too much extra time on our hands. So let's see what kind of trouble we can get into today. So a lot of times in the morning, I get to play caravan for this guy, either taking him off to do a run, but today
I'm just going to catch dinner. She's taking me to drop me off to go fishing, and then she is going to come back and clean all the fish that I caught last night.
So let's go drop this guy off.
Slay some trout.
Alright, so I just got Kendrick dropped off to go fishing, and I'm gonna go back to camp because that way I can get some other stuff done, and also because I don't want to spend like 6 hours fishing today. You know, this has been a new hobby for Kendrick since COVID, and I've kind of realized we all need some kind of hobby. And even once the pandemic has kind of passed us over, you know, I think this is going to be a really important change, just having time to ourselves and finding something that we can do to just make us happy. Anyway, I'm gonna go back to camp and start cleaning the fish he caught last night. Ooh. So this is our really great little campsite that we're set up in just outside of Leadville. It's some BLM public land that we like to camp on. It's beautiful out here. It's really close to Turquoise Lake. Unfortunately, it's 4th of July weekend, so like, there's some people around, a little bit of noise, but it's still beautiful, and we've got a nice little chunk of space to ourselves, So funny story, a couple of years ago, I told Kendrick that if he would learn to fish, then I would clean and cook all of the fish that he caught. Thought it was a good deal, because I thought it would never happen. And then, of course, it did happen. So he got home from fishing last night at like 9 o'clock, and I was not about to clean these fish then. So I put them on ice, and I'm gonna clean them now. And I know that I can just clean them and cook them with the bone in, but personally, I kind of wanted to learn how to fillet fish. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos and found a bunch of different methods, and I am by no means a pro, but hey, practice makes perfect, right? The first thing you need is a fillet knife, which this one we just picked up at Walmart, and of course, your trout. The first thing we're going to want to do is get underneath this front fin, and we're going to slice down the neck just below the gill. And we're going to do that on both sides. Then we're also going to cut that bone right there to make sure that the neck is completely disengaged. After that, we're going to cut from the lovely anus hole all the way up the belly to the neck. Just like so. You don't have to remove the guts if you're going to cut the fillet off, but I found it just a little bit easier to go ahead and remove the head and the guts. Now comes the tricky part, because we're going to want to slice between the rib cage and that fillet so that we can get a nice clean fillet off of there. A lot of the YouTube videos I saw begin cutting with the knife going this direction. However, I found it difficult to get started on that end, so instead I've turned my knife this way to try to get underneath that rib cage to start separating the fillet from the bones. Once you have that fillet off, you're going to want to make sure you cut off the extra little fins that we don't want to eat. There you have a nice fillet, and then we'll do it to the other side. And there you have your 2 fillets. They're not perfect, but once again, practice makes perfect. And voila, 12 trout fillets. Well, now that that messy business is done with, let's go hang out by the lake while Kendrick fishes. Hi, Kendrick. So, how you doing? Have you caught anything yet?
3 fish so far.
Mind if I sit for a spell?
Only if you pour me a drink.
Well, if I'm gonna fish, may as well fish with mimosas.
Cheers to catching dinner.
Okay, so this is a little journal my mom got me a couple of years ago, and I just started drawing pictures in it. So I draw the pictures that represent what we're up to in life. So that's what I drew while Kendrick was fishing. Yay! Okay, so I just finished hanging out at the lake with Kendrick, but it's time to get back into work mode, so bear with me for a minute while I switch gears because I do this a lot throughout the day. Getting back to my cameras. I need to clean my camera sensor, and I get a lot of questions about how to clean your camera sensor. Now, my number one absolute always answer is take it to a professional. Living on the road, my camera sensor on the Z6 and Z7, they get dirty so often. I just have to figure out how to clean them myself. After all of my research, I have invested in a couple of items. First of all is a blower. However, when I was at the camera store, I found this one, which actually comes with a filter on the end. And so when you blow air out of it, it actually filters the air coming into the bulb. It's a clean air bulb filter. Next, I bought a liquid that I will need to clean my sensor to do a wet clean. And then I bought some sensor swabs. For the Nikon Z6 and Z7, you're going to need a 24mm swab, which is going to be, I want to say type 3. However, when I was at the camera store, they were all out, and I am seriously in dire need of cleaning my sensor. So I bought type 1, which is actually too small for my sensor. So I'm going to say, don't do what I'm about to do, but I'm about to do it. If you are going to clean your own sensor, I absolutely recommend that you get the proper sensor swab size for the camera that you are trying to clean. To begin, I have to tell you a horror story about how I was one of those people who thought that I could simply use my almighty clean breath to blow off my sensor. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but I got a nice sheen of saliva right across my sensor. So I'm going to begin indoors. I'm going to use my filtered air blower. And I'm going to hold the camera upside down, and I'm going to blow off all of the dust I can blow off using my filtered air blower. Obviously, the filtered air blower is not enough to remove the saliva from my sensor. So I'm going to have to do what is called a wet clean. So I'm going to take my sensor swabs, in this case, which are a little bit too small. Ideally, the width of this swab would be the width of your sensor. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take a few drops of my wet solution. I'm going to put that on the edge of my swab. I'm going to go once across one direction, then I'm going to turn the entire swab and go across the other direction. I'm applying very, very light force, so it does not appear that I've been able to remove quite all of the saliva. So I'm gonna give it a second go. Alright y'all, so I did a couple of before and after tests with the lens on, took some shots, and I am so happy with the results. There's no streaks, and all my dust and all my spit is gone, and I'm so excited because now I get to clean my sensor on the road. Yay! As much as I would like to play all day long, I still have to work, so I'm going to sit down for a little while and I'm going to answer emails, make reservations, edit photos, edit videos, write a book, do all the things that I can possibly do to make a living, all of which have to do with staring at a computer screen, which in recent weeks I have discovered have been causing me ocular migraines. I don't know if any of you have ever had those, but they're horrible. I literally felt like I was having a stroke the other day. So I just got these blue light filtering glasses. Apparently they're supposed to make it better when you're staring at a computer screen. I don't know if it's a placebo or if they work. Still testing, so we'll see. Okay, it is dinner time, and to prove what normal and boring people we are, we're not doing anything fancy tonight, even though you've seen us do some fancy things before. Last night, Kendrick did make a very fabulous pasta, and so he is rewarded by eating leftovers, and I am using up the rest of our turkey to make a turkey wrap, like just super normal stuff you do at home. Cheers to you! Easy peasy dinner. We just had dinner. It was delicious, but Kendrick caught more fish tonight, and rather than save them for tomorrow, I'm gonna fillet them tonight. We got our propane fire pit going on over here because there's a fire ban. We're gonna hang out by the fire. That's gonna wrap up our evening, I think. Hey guys, today has been a day, a great day. I'm trying to learn to appreciate every single day I have, even the days that don't seem like good days. And now I am sitting here next to a propane fire because there's a fire ban, so we're not allowed to have a real fire. And Kendrick, in his classic style, is passed out. If he's ever sitting in a chair next to a fire, he's out. I'm grateful to have this guy passed out next to me, and I'm grateful that if I were to take you with me tomorrow, it would be a 100% different day. And I think right now what I really want to focus on is just appreciating every day. I like to play my highlight, low light, and grateful. So today, my highlight's gonna be sitting by the lake, drawing a picture. My low light's gonna be all the cleaning up I had to do after all those fish. And my grateful is going to be that I'm alive and I was able to know somebody like Bob Peliquin and my friend Gail, who passed a few months ago. These people that have gone way too young. I love you all, and I have no idea why I brought you with me today, and if I should ever do it again. I don't know. Have a good day. And voila, 12 ways.